The civil rights movement was a pivotal moment in American history that lasted from the mid-1950s to the late 1960s. It was a time of great social and political upheaval, as activists and ordinary citizens alike fought for equal rights and an end to discrimination against African Americans. The movement was sparked by the landmark 1954 Supreme Court case, Brown v. Board of Education, which declared that segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. However, it was the courageous actions of activists and everyday people that truly drove the movement forward and ultimately led to significant changes in laws and societal attitudes. One of the most iconic figures of the civil rights movement was Martin Luther King Jr. He became a leader in the movement in the 1950s and is best known for his role in the Montgomery Bus Boycott, which began in 1955 after Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a bus to a white person. King also played a key role in the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963, where he delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a major legislative victory for the movement. The act prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin in employment and public accommodations. This legislation was followed by the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which aimed to eliminate discriminatory voting practices that had been used to prevent African Americans from exercising their right to vote. Another important aspect of the civil rights movement was the use of nonviolent resistance as a means of protest. Activists like King and James Farmer, the leader of the Congress of Racial Equality, advocated for peaceful protests and civil disobedience as a way to bring attention to the issues of discrimination and inequality. This approach helped to garner sympathy and support from the general public and was instrumental in bringing about change. The civil rights movement had a profound impact on American society. It helped to end legal segregation and discrimination and paved the way for the modern civil rights movement. The movement also had a global impact as it inspired movements for civil rights and equality in other countries. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 have helped to ensure that all Americans have equal rights and opportunities, regardless of race. In order to fully realize the goals of the civil rights movement, we must continue to work towards addressing these issues and creating a more just and equitable society for all.